Hi everyone, this is Teresa, and I would like to do a kind of look-see at our product of the month for you, which is the Color Cube. Now, I want to tell you that I have had these in my own possession for about a year, and I use them pretty daily. But Amy has done her due diligence and has been able to secure the color cubes for you in either the volume 1, which is one box, and then volume 2, which you can get the full suite, which is all of it. There is something special that comes with the full suite, and we'll talk about that towards the end of the video. But we've had people that have been asking, what are these things? What do you do with them? Why do I need them? I am a big believer that as creatives, we are very capable of becoming comfortable. And that includes color theory. When we make our color choices, we may tend to go with things that we are more comfortable with. The color cube is an opportunity to kind of break out of that comfort box and start exploring other ways that you can combine and mix colors in ways that you wouldn't have thought of before. The other part of these is that they're incredibly inspirational. So let's go through the boxes, and then I want to show you some examples on how I use them, and maybe that'll help you to make a decision on these. I will tell you they are an investment, and we'll go over pricing towards the end, but whether you get one box, you get two boxes, and you have to ask yourself the question of, where are you in your creative journey, and is this something that would help you kind of break out of your own comfort zone? Do you struggle with coming up with color combinations? Are you just looking for some ways to just kind of take your work either over the top a little bit more or into another direction? And that's where these color cube cards come in handy. So let's talk about them. So in the two cubes together, 500 cards, 250 in each box. And if you look at the boxes, I'll flip them for you. Look at that colorful goodness. I love these things. Even on the bottom, she is so complete. So the lady that created these, her name is Sarah Renee Clark. She lives in Australia. She first came out with a digital option for this. And a lot of people, she said, gave her the same question, when can I get printables? And so she set out to come up with a way of doing that that was not going to break the bank. And I believe that she's done a fantastic job. So 250 cards in each box. These are some of the cubes. You get a front of the card and the back of the card. Let's just take a look at one of these. So, in fact, I'm going to move these up. And I will tell you on the bottom of the boxes, you can't see it really from here, but there is a cushion at the bottom of these. So you don't have to worry about these getting damaged. And 250 fits in here as you can see, fits in here very comfortable. So let's take a look at what the cards are. First of all, they are all numbered. If you are like me and you are creating like a madman, and 2 weeks into this, you find all your cards are out of order, you can now put them back into order with the numbers, which is really nice. It shows you an inspiration picture. It gives you the colors that break out from that inspiration picture, which, I mean, that's absolutely beautiful. And I will tell you, when I first got my cubes, the one thing that I did was sit down on the couch with a cup of coffee, and just for 3 hours, I just went through these colors and just oogled them. And it started getting my creative juices flowing, because it started showing me colors that I wouldn't normally pick, which I just think is so fascinating. I mean, and the inspirational pictures even are just, they are very inspiring. I mean, look at that. And the vibrancy of the colors are amazing. So you get the inspirational picture, you get the colors, the main colors that are extracted from the inspiration picture on the front, and the number. And they're very, very strong cards. Flip it over. Now what you get is the color name, the primary color name, which are these ones that you see on the front, and then these. You get the color name, you get the hex number. Graphic designers enjoy that very much. You also get, she took it kind of a step further, and she gives you a light, a medium, and a dark, which I love that feature, and I actually probably use that more than I use just the straight colors. It helps me to not try to be as perfect with picking out a color, but shows me that I've got some leeway with that. So And the printing, by the way, is in a nice readable font. The cards are, like I said, very durable. And you get 500 of them if you get the whole suite. My gosh, can't beat that. So let me show you some examples on how you can use these, because I told you I've been using them and I want to make sure you know that I have. So let's push those off to the side. Let me bring in a few examples for you, okay? And then I'm going to show you how I actually go through the process of deciding what I'm going to do. So here's some ideas. This was a Christmas card I did a little bit ago. I got some new Spellbinders products and just wanted to pull them out. And this one I like as an example because I want to explain to you what you can do with these that's even over just using the color cube colors. So I saw these colors on this card, and of course they were Christmas. Not that that mattered, but for this I wanted to do a Christmas card. So I flipped it over, and I love, again, that I get the light, medium, dark. You see those leaves? I love using different tonals on the leaves because it just kind of adds to the depth of the card. On the Noel and on the poinsettia, you will notice that there is a crimson, but there's also an auburn, which is kind of like a darker, just a darker red. So I kind of brought that in here with the two different levels of red on the poinsettia. And then I took an ink, oxide ink, and I blended ombre up on the letters just to get that color a little bit more. So it gave me a couple colors. I also pick out my gems based on this. And I picked out some lighter green ones. I picked out some reds. Now, here's what I did that went over and above it. There was no gold on this card, obviously. We know gold goes with all these colors. So I incorporated gold into it. And then I saw that bird in the die set. I had to have it. So, and I knew that blue was going to go with all of these. It was going to be fine. So did I adhere strictly to the card colors? No, but I didn't have to. So you can kind of get an idea on how you can use those. So there's one. This one, some of you will remember, I did a tag, a bunch of things for Amy for the last open house in September for Christmas. And this was a tag that I did. I take pictures of all of my makes. And I do that because I keep them in an album and I love to refer back to them just to kind of get an idea for inspiration, for layout, for colors. For this one, I had seen this card and I thought, gosh, I really want to be making something with that. So it's got your silvers, it's got your blacks or grays, dark blue, steel blue, white, and it goes into like a smoke, which is like a light gray. So I did that one. I did the dark blues, I did the light blue, I did gray here. Instead of the, well, they call it silver here, but instead of the lighter grays, I did go with silver, and the silver for the baubles and such, and then blue for the eyes. Just kind of gives you an idea on how you can use these, but look at how well that worked. I would have never thought to use these colors. It's not that I didn't know the colors. I just never would have thought to use them on something like this until I pulled out that color cube card. So that's another one that I did. This one I did fairly recently, and you can cut this on your silhouette. This is a scrapbook page. I am not a scrapbooker, and I know Maria cracks up when I tell her that. I am not a scrapbooker, but I wanted to do something with this picture of my son and I, and yes, that is Teresa at a much younger age. Back when I was a little more sassy and could move around a little better, and that's my son. But I love the reds and the whites, and there's some gray in there, and I just really wanted to try to make that into a scrapbook page. So here's the card. Look at the page. Isn't that amazing? So I set to creating all these layers, and you're going to notice there's light gray, there's red, there's dark gray, there's light gray, I did bring gold into it because, again, I can. This is a deeper red, which is very much like this one. And I just love, and the gray on the background, obviously. I love how it came out. I did back it. I put this on an easel and I displayed upstairs in our living room during Christmas. So you can, scrapbookers, card makers, quilters, mixed media, graphic designers, colorists. It doesn't matter what you do. If you look at color, this is definitely a tool that you're going to want to consider purchasing. All right, so let's set that one aside. Now, here's one that I did that I want to show you a little bit further what I did as far as coming up with the colors. This was a card that our family, every year I make several cards that are for Christmas. And this is one of them that I had done. I had actually made this for a year of cards class. I gave them two options and they picked the other one, which was fine. That left me the ability to make these for my Christmas cards. This is a Tim Holtz stamp that if Amy doesn't have it in the shop, she can order it. And then I use penny black sentiment on there. So on this one, look at those colors. My gosh, that just got my blood pumping. So if we flip the card over, and I know that this is on 051, and then we've got our turquoise, our teal, our dark teal, so you get really, really dark ones, the charcoal and the gray, and the colors just go fantabulous. I just love them together. So what I did was I knew I wanted to use Alta New ink. I didn't know why, but I know that with these colors, I love my Alta New inks. And Amy has those at the store for anyone that wants to fall in love with those babies. So what I did was I took the color card and I went up to my swatch, and my goodness, look at that. I mean, just about as spot on as you can possibly get. So it's Aqualicious, Teal Cave, and Galactic Stream from Alta New if you need to know those. But while I was looking at that, I also noticed over here, even though these are not the same colors, if I flip this, I get a better idea that I can actually even go lighter or darker. And so I chose these three colors as well, and I ended up doing my Christmas cards in two different color families. These ones, if you want to know, are Volcano Lake, Lagoon, and Emerald. So, and that's what this card is. So you have your Emerald at the top. Your Lagoon is kind of in the middle, and then the Volcano Lake just right down at the end, and they all blend in together, which made them beautiful. I've got the dark gray, the light gray. I've got silver and the baubles. I did put a black sentiment, but I knew that would be okay, that it would match. And there's a Christmas card, and it just came out absolutely beautiful. I've gotten more comments on this card, and it is stunning. I do really like it. It's beautiful. And the people that will be getting it, I will assure you, they are card worthy. So we have those. So how do you start it from the beginning? I pick a card, any card. I go through the cards and I try to decide which ones that I think I might like to use. And I might come up with a pile of maybe 10 to 12 cards. Then I settle on this one. Now I was working on a year of cards for Amy for January. And the product set from Concord and 9 is absolutely wonderful. I was really struggling with the colors. So I went through, and any of you that know me from my card classes know these are not my colors. These aren't the ones that you'll see on the cards that I designed for a year of cards. So I wanted to go outside of my comfort box. So I decided to go with these. So how do I do that? I have these. I flip them over. I get an idea. Charcoal, blush, light pink, sand, coffee, black. I get light, medium, dark on all of them. I get the true colors over there. How am I going to turn this into the colors that I want to use? Well, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to pick some colors. So I knew on this one that I wanted to use probably some different elements as far as color. So this brings me to the next thing about the color cube. If you purchase the full suite, which is both color cubes, you will also get a digital version that is on the website, and I believe there will be a link with your purchase, and they'll explain that to you in the store how to get that. But there is a digital component on this. I wanted to show it to you, but I have my iPad up, so I'm not able to kind of show it. And really, I shouldn't be showing you what I paid for. So what I can tell you is that it is a digital version of these cards, which is great for on the go. If you don't want to carry the box or any of the cards, you've got that option. But with it being digital, you also have the opportunity to do some searching. So it allows you to search by color, by keyword, by, there's one that has categories, so you can get autumn, summer, Christmas, different things like that. But there's also a companion that comes with it. And basically what it allows you to do is, if you want to, you can either just look at it on the screen. I like to swatch. So I printed this out, and I just did one so you could see it. So this is this color cube card number 229 in large form. It tells you, if you search online, these are the keywords that you can search by, and then it gives you the colors. Down the bottom, it tells you the hex numbers. And then it also gives you, if you're going to be using different color theories for it, those are there. But this is the part that I want you to understand down here. It puts the colors across here, and this is how I swatch to determine what mediums and what paper, what elements am I going to use to put into a year of cards. So we have that. I decided first to look at my distress oxides. So I came up with these. And I knew right off the bat from looking at one of these colors that I was going to be using seedless preserves, because that was just, to me, very comparable to that one. For the light pink, I wanted to go a little bit lighter because I wanted to ink blend. So that one, even though it's lighter, it's spun sugar. I decided I was going to go with that. Ground espresso, I'm going to go with the coffee color. Sand, I'm going to use some other elements for that. Black is black. Charcoal, I decided to go with a hickory smoke. And even though it's lighter, I'll show you what I did with that, because I wanted to keep that kind of a lighter gray to use as almost like a Versamark effect on a few of the things that I was doing. So I came up with those. Then I decided I might want some markers with it. So I went to my Olo swatch. And this is how I maintain my Olos, where I have 2 back-to-backs and I color them in so I know what they are. So I went to these, and as you can tell from the sheet, let me pull this up here. I'm going to show you that I did seedless preserves, hickory smoke, spun sugar, and then ground espresso and black. Well, the sand color, I wasn't going to use a piece of paper. What I knew I wanted to do was to probably bring in an Olo. So I went into my Olo swatch, and I found that Olo either 7.3 or 7.1 were going to be the ones that I was going to use. And that would be these. So I went ahead and I got those out, and it's got 2 different colors on it. So we had those. So I knew I had those. The other thing that I did take a look at was my Karen markers. Don't forget your Karen markers. I've got my brush pens. I've got my pigment deco brush pens. I wasn't sure if I was going to use those, but these would definitely be something that I could incorporate into it. Just the regular Karen brush markers and the browns. And that's another pigment deco brush. So it's up to you as far as those, what you want to use. I also pulled out the other Olos that I knew were going to go with this. And I write them here. Now these go into a binder for me, so I keep them. And then I will take a picture of the card that I did and put it on the back of this. And then I have it together in the book so I know what card I made. I also keep them in my Tailored Expressions sketchbook. So I have that. So in fact, let me bring that over and show you that. When I'm setting up for a design of a card, I do my sketchbook, and these are my Olos. I put my color cube number right there, and then I write down the Copic numbers, and then for this I wanted to use Olos, so I put those there. And then I kind of drew out for somewhat of a design what I wanted to do on one of the cards, and then put the hickory smoke seedless preserves. You get the idea. I knew I wanted to use different colored papers, so I put those there. I also wrote twine, question mark. Do I want to bring in using some twine on this as well? So maybe that would be an option to use. Everything centers around these cards and the color choices. So I started playing, and I'm not done playing. I'm still kind of trying to finish these up, but I came up with a couple options. So based on those colors, I took a brown. I took a kind of a blush pink. I took a gray. I took one of the stencils with the hickory smoke and a stencil. I didn't want it too dark, so that hickory smoke worked out perfectly on that. And then I started coloring. Yes, that is one of the card pieces that we're going to have. Look at those little buttons. How adorable. I ink blended with a couple of the softer colors, the seedless preserves and the spun sugar underneath. I used the gray on here for the buttons. And then I thought, what would this look like if I tried it in a brown? So again, going along with these colors, I knew that if I use these, it would work. So I tried a different one. And I'm just starting to work on finishing this one. I'm not going to show you the rest of the cards because I got to get them to the store, but it gives you an idea on kind of what's coming. So it's all about Stay Cozy Winter. I made one of the cups that's going to go on one of the cards. This is in seedless preserves in the black. Look at that. Is that not the most cutable, the adorable little cup on there? So I've got that. I did some other cups in some other colors. Again, everything centered around these cards. And could I get away with having one box of the color cubes? Absolutely, I could. I like having options. That's just me. If you like to have options, go for both. If you feel that it would just kind of up your game a little bit and you want to go with one cube, go with one cube. Remember that if you get both cubes, you are also able to get the electronic suite. This is called the full suite that you'll get with this. So you get cube 1 and cube 2, and then you end up with a full suite. I will tell you, for this month only, the Color Cube full suite with this and the digital access these are normally $99.99. You get for boarding pass club members only, you get a 25% off coupon on or discount on these. Do the math. That is phenomenal for what you get for these. And they are an investment, but I'll tell you what, they are well worth the investment. If you get a single box, they are $39.99 or $39.99. The benefit of doing both and paying the $99 seems like it's more, but you get the digital access. And I believe the digital access goes, gosh, I guess it's probably upwards of $50. So, I mean, anyway, you're saving a whole lot of money, but you're also opening up your ability to choose colors and take yourself outside of your comfort box. So for the month of December only, and Amy has just a certain quantity of these in the store. So if you want them, call her and ask her to hold them till you can get in there, but you got to get in this month. Or go in the store and actually pick up your cubes. This would also be a good opportunity if you've got a spouse that is looking for a Christmas gift. Merry Christmas to you. Might not be able to stick it in a stocking, but it would look beautiful under the tree. Let me tell you. Take a look at the color cubes in the store. I'm so glad to see that Amy's the type of business owner that's willing to look at product that is hot on the market and things that we need to be able to take our creativity to the next level. So now you know what these are. Go in and purchase yours. If you do any cards or anything with them, get up on our Facebook, let us know. If you have any questions, call the store. We'd be happy to answer them. This is your product of the month. The color cubes, volume 1 and 2, and the digital if you get the full suite in the store now. Go and get yours. Thanks for joining me. Talk to you soon, and stay crafty. Bye-bye.